Okay, hello students. Today we shall continue with the chemical kinetics topic. Fine. So in the last class, okay, we had a fair idea about how we express the rate of a reaction in terms of concentration of reactants and products. Okay, so today we shall just continue with this topic further on. Okay, so once more, I'll just consider a reaction, say X, Y. Okay, so I'm considering again a hypothetical reaction XY. So in the last class, we said that when we express the rate in terms of concentration of reactant, we place a negative sign, delta XY, delta T. So why do we place a negative sign out here? See, delta X is already negative. I have not placed the negative sign out here, but we know delta X is already negative. So if I don't place a negative sign out here, rate will become negative. Fine. So delta X is already negative. So this negative quantity multiplied by this negative quantity becomes a positive quantity. So these things has already been explained in the last class. And whenever we express the rate in terms of concentration of product, what do we write? We just write plus del Y del T. Fine. So this is one of the simplest chemical reaction. This is one of the simplest chemical reactions. And we know while balancing a chemical reactions, there will be some coefficients before the reactant and the product. And these coefficients will be known as a stoichiometric coefficient. Fine, it's known as a stoichiometric coefficient. So it's known as a stoichiometric coefficients. So what is the stoichiometric coefficient out here? 1 out here, the stoichiometric coefficient is 1. But we know most of the chemical reactions are not this simple. Fine. So we have numbers other than 1 out here in most of the reactions. Now, listen very carefully. So in the earlier class, we said that the concentration of the reactants will gradually decrease. That means the reactants are gradually disappearing. Fine. And the concentration of the product will gradually increase. That means the products are gradually appearing. So this quantity minus delta X by delta T, so this thing is also known as a rate of disappearance. Rate of disappearance. Rate of disappearance of say X out here. Fine. Why do I write on rate of disappearance? Because the reactants, they are gradually getting converted into product. That is, they are gradually disappearing. And since the products gradually appear, they are formed. So this quantity, it is also known as a rate of appearance of product. So we can write down rate of appearance of Y. So in this particular hypothetical reaction, the rate of a reaction is equal to rate of disappearance of X, which is equal to rate of appearance of Y. Which means that the rate at which X disappears is actually equal to the rate at which Y appears, because the stoichiometric coefficients are same, 1, 1 out here. So the rate at which X disappears is equal to the rate at which Y appears, and this is also equal to the rate of a reaction. Okay, so these quantities are also known as a rate of disappearance and rate of appearance. Fine. But again, we know most of the chemical reactions are not this simple. Most of the chemicals are not this simple. So let us consider another chemical reaction. Let us consider another hypothetical chemical reaction. Okay. So I will write twice A plus B gives us 3C. So let me consider another hypothetical reaction out here. So the stoichiometric coefficients are 2, 1, 3. That means 2 moles of A reacts with 1 moles of B to produce 3 moles of C. Okay. Now, how do we express the rate of this reaction? How do we express the rate of this reaction? So let us see. So rate, again I can write it as, in terms of A, what will I write? Minus delta A by delta T is equal to, in terms of reactant B, I can write minus delta B by delta T, and in terms of product C I can write down yes plus delta C by delta T. Okay, so this expresses the change in concentration, and while expressing the rate in terms of reactant, yes, what do? We place a negative sign. But is this applicable to this reaction? Now see what I have done. So here rate is actually equal to the rate of disappearance of A, fine, which is equal to the rate of disappearance of B and is equal to the rate of appearance of C. But we know since the stoichiometric coefficients are different, so the rate at which A disappears is not equal to the rate at which B disappears, because 2 moles of A reacts with 1 moles of BA. So when the rate of disappearance of A will not be equal to the rate of disappearance of B. And yes, the rate of disappearance of B will not be equal to the rate of appearance of C, since the stoichiometric coefficients are different. So how do we express the rate of a reaction for this kind of reactions where the stoichiometric coefficients are same? So very simple, what you do, you just look at the stoichiometric coefficient. Fine, here it is 2, here it is 1, here it is 3. So what do? We divide everything by the respective stoichiometric coefficient. So I'll divide by 2 out here. So here I'm going to divide by 1, it will remain the same. Here I'm going to divide by 3 out here. So now the rate of a reaction is not equal to minus del A by delta T, rather it is equal to minus half into delta A by delta T. And in terms of B, it will remain the same, del B by del T. And rate of a reaction in terms of C will be 1 by 3 multiplied by del C by del T. Okay, so most of the students might get confused out here. So let me clear this. So minus del A by del T, again minus del A by del T, it gives us the rate of disappearance of A. Minus del B by del T, it gives us the rate of disappearance of B. Plus del C by del T, it gives us the rate of appearance of C. Okay, minus del A by del T, rate of disappearance of A, minus del B by del T, rate of disappearance of B, plus del C by del T, rate of appearance of C. Okay, so what is the rate equal to? So we can say rate is equal to half the rate of disappearance, of A. Okay, so in this case, rate is equal to half the rate of disappearance of A, which is equal to, again, so we don't have any coefficient out here, so it is equal to, rate is equal to rate of disappearance of B. Rate is equal to rate of disappearance, rate of a reaction will be equal to rate of disappearance of B. And in terms of C, what is the rate equal to? The rate will be equal to 1 by 3 times the rate of appearance of C. Okay, so in this reaction, minus del A by del T represents the rate of disappearance. So half multiplied by minus del A del T is equal to the rate. Here minus del B by del T is equal to rate of disappearance of B, which is equal to the rate of a reaction. And plus del C by del T represents the rate of appearance of C, and 1 by 3rd del C by del T is equal to the rate of a reaction. So this quantity represents the rate of disappearance, and this whole quantity represents the rate of a reaction. Out here, this represents the rate of disappearance as well as the rate of a reaction. And del C by del T represents the rate of appearance of C, but 1 by 3rd del C by del T is equal to rate of a reaction. So half rate of disappearance of A is equal to rate of disappearance of B is equal to 1 by 3rd rate of appearance of C, and these whole things are equal to the rate of a reaction. Fine. So please, you should have a clear concept about this idea. Okay, so this whole thing is equal to the rate, but just minus del A by del T is equal to the rate of disappearance. This whole thing is equal to the rate, but del C by del T is equal to the rate of disappearance of appearance of C. Okay. So whenever we have a reaction where the stoichiometric coefficients are different, then in order to express the rate, we need to divide everything by the respective stoichiometric coefficients. Okay. Now let us see some examples, then we'll do some numerical part out here. Fine. So let us see some examples. So for example, Haber's process, manufacture of ammonia. So what is the equation in Haber's process? Nitrogen reacts with 3 moles of hydrogen to give us 2 moles of ammonia. Okay, so this is the industrial method of preparation of ammonia. So now let us express the rate of this particular reaction in terms of reactant and product. So first of all, you have to look at the stoichiometric coefficients. What are the stoichiometric coefficients? 1, 3 and 2. So this equation is balanced. So what will be the rate of a reaction in terms of nitrogen? Nitrogen is the reactant, so we need to place a negative sign. So it will be delta into divided by delta T. Now in terms of hydrogen, what will be the rate of a reaction? What is the stoichiometric coefficient? 3. So it will be minus 1 by 3 into delta concentration of hydrogen divided by delta T. Fine. Now in terms of product ammonia, it is 2. So plus 1 by 2 into delta ammonia by delta T. So this is how we express the rate of a reaction for this particular chemical reaction. Okay. Now again out here, uh, which quantity expresses the rate of disappearance of nitrogen? This. This is equal to the rate of disappearance of nitrogen, which is equal to the rate of the reaction. Fine. Out here, minus delta H2 by del T. Minus delta H2 by del T represents the rate of disappearance of hydrogen, and 1 by 3rd into delta hydrogen by delta T represents the rate of a reaction. So here we can say, in this particular case, we can say rate is equal to rate of disappearance of nitrogen. Fine. Out here, rate of a reaction will be equal to what? 1 by 3rd, okay, 1 by 3 times the rate of disappearance of hydrogen. And in the last class, in terms of product, okay, so what is the rate of appearance of ammonia given by this quantity? Okay, so how do we express the rate in terms of rate of appearance of ammonia? So it will be half times the rate of appearance of ammonia. Okay, so the rate of reaction equals to rate of disappearance of nitrogen, which is equal to 1 by 3 times the rate of disappearance of hydrogen, which is equal to half times the rate of appearance of nitrogen. Okay, so again, in order to clear this concept, okay, we need to do some numericals, simple numericals. Fine. So let us start with a very simple numerical out here. So again, I'm going to write down one hypothetical reaction. Twice A plus B gives us C. Twice A plus B gives us C. Okay. So here it is given, in the question it is given, okay, the rate of appearance of C, it's given rate of appearance of C at time t, time is not mentioned, okay, so sorry, it will be 3 moles of C, is 1.3 into 10 to the power minus 4, okay, mole per liter per second. It's given. So you are supposed to calculate two things out here. Number one, you are supposed to calculate rate of reaction, and number two, you are supposed to calculate rate of disappearance of A. Rate of disappearance of A. Okay, so this should clear our concepts. And this type of numericals are very common, okay, in your board level. So let us see, how do we proceed then? Okay, so let us see. Now, first of all, what we need to do, again, we need to look at the respective stoichiometric coefficients carefully. Okay, here it is given 2 moles of A reacts with 1 mole of B to give us 3 moles of C. Okay, now, how do we express the rate of this reaction? So, rate equals to, fine, it's 2 out here, so minus half change in concentration of A divided by time taken for the change. Here, stoichiometric coefficient is 1, so we need to multiply by 1. So, del B by del T. So, what is the stoichiometric coefficient out here? 3. So, I'll divide by 3 plus, in terms of product, plus del C by del T. So, rate in terms of A will be this, rate in terms of B will be this, rate in terms of C will be this. Again, I am repeating the same thing. Minus del A by del T is the rate of disappearance of A. Minus del B by del T is the rate of disappearance of B. Plus 1 by 3 plus del C by del T is the rate of disappearance of C. So what do I need to find out now? Rate of a reaction. Okay, I need to find out the rate of a reaction. What is given? Rate of appearance of C is given. Rate of appearance of C is given. So what is the thing which is given? Rate of appearance of C means what is the thing which is given? Yes, students. Rate of appearance of C means the value of del C by del T. This expresses the rate of appearance of C. So what is the value of del C by del T given? 1.3 into 10 to the power minus 4. So I'm just omitting the units out here. Okay, so these things is given. So obviously I will express the rate in terms of C because I know this quantity. This thing is given in the question. So now therefore what will be the rate? So rate is going to be 1 by 3 times the rate of appearance of C whose value is given. Okay, the value of del C by del T is given. So therefore what will be the value of rate? 1 by 3 into 1.3 into 10 to the power minus 4. Okay, so this is going to be, if you calculate, this will come out to be 4.33 into 10 to the power minus 5. So what is the unit of rate? Mole per liter per second. So this is how we solve such type of questions. First you need to express the rate in terms of A, B and C. Then you see what are the things which are given. Out here rate of appearance of C was given. Rate of appearance of C means what is given out here? Rate of appearance of C means the value of plus del C by del T is given out to be this. And what is the expression for rate in terms of C? It will be 1 by 3rd into rate of appearance of C. So rate equals to 1 by 3 into rate of appearance of C. So rate of appearance of C value is given in the question. So our answer would be 4.33. So I think this will clear your concept. Now let us move towards the second problem. You are supposed to find out the rate of disappearance of A. Okay, you are supposed to find out the rate of disappearance of A. Now we have found out the rate of a reaction. We have found out the rate of the reaction. We know the value of rate of a reaction. So now we'll equate A with the rate of a reaction since we are supposed to find out rate of disappearance of A. Okay. So here from here I can write minus half del A by del T is equal to the rate. Is it so? Yes, this whole thing is equal to the rate. So minus del A by del T will be equal to what? It will be equal to 2 times the rate. What does this thing represent? This represents the rate of disappearance of A. Minus del A by del T means the rate of disappearance of A. So, which is now equal to 2 times the rate of a reaction. So, this will come out to be 2 times, what is the answer? 4.33 into 10 to the power minus 5. Unit will be same, mole per liter per second. Okay, so it will be 668 into 10 to the power minus 4 mole per liter per second. So these are really simple questions. Okay, and the best part is that this type of questions do tend to come in a board level. So practice a lot. Okay, so just we need to express the rate in terms of concentration of reactant and product. And this concept should be clear. This whole thing is equal to the rate, but minus del A del T is equal to the rate of disappearance of A. Here, this is equal to the rate as well as the rate of disappearance of B. Out here, plus del C by del T is the rate of appearance of C, but this whole thing 1 by 3 into del C by del T is equal to the rate of a reaction. Fine. So now we are in a position to express the rate of a reaction in terms of concentration of reactant and in terms of concentration of product for any kind of reactions. Okay, for any kind of reactions, we can do that thing. Okay, so what you do is you practice more numericals out here. You practice more numericals out. So again, we'll move towards the next topic. Okay, types of rate of a reaction. Types of rate of a reaction. Types of rate of a reaction. Okay, so we'll move towards the next topic, types of rate of a reaction. So broadly speaking, rate of a reactions are of two broad categories. The rate of a reactions are of two broad categories. So what are the two kinds of rate of a reaction, yes, students? So can you name it? Yes, the two types of rate of a reactions are average rate, okay, and the other one is your instantaneous rate of a reaction. One is the average rate and the other one is your instantaneous rate of a reaction. Fine. So what do you mean by a average rate and what do you mean by a instantaneous rate? Let us see. So listen very carefully. Average rate. Okay, say a reaction is going on. Fine, you are carrying out a reaction. Say the reaction has been going on since a considerable amount of time. Say the reaction has been going on since past 5 minutes. Since past 5 minutes. So suppose you are asked to calculate the rate of a reaction between say 1 minute and say 1.2 minutes. Say over 20 seconds. Okay, so if the question comes, calculate the rate of a reaction between 1 minute and 1.2 minutes. So, what is an average rate of a reaction? The average rate of a reaction is the rate of a reaction calculated over a certain interval of time. Say between 25th second and say 35th second. Say between 28th second and say 30th second. So when you calculate the rate of a reaction between a certain interval of time, over a certain interval of time, that rate of a reaction is known as your average rate of a reaction. Okay, so how do we define average rate of a reaction? So average rate of a reaction is defined as rate of a reaction, okay, calculated over a certain interval of time is known as the average rate of a reaction. So average rate of a reaction means the rate of a reaction over a certain interval of time. Okay. So again, let me consider a reaction AB. Let me consider a reaction AB. So I'm just rubbing this. Okay, so I'll write it from the top. So I'll consider a reaction AB. Now I am supposed to calculate the average rate of a reaction. Say suppose at time t1 the concentration of reactant is A1. The concentration of the reactant is A1. And after time t2 the concentration of the reactant is increases or decreases? It decreases to A2. Right? So we are supposed to calculate the rate of a reaction between this time interval, between T2 and T1. Okay, we are supposed to calculate the rate of a reaction between this time interval. Now, how are we going to do that? Okay, so here average rate. So we are expressing in terms of concentration of reactant. Okay, so it will be equal to change in concentration of A. Change in concentration means here again the same thing, final concentration minus here initial concentration. Fine. And what is the time taken for this change? T2 minus T1. Now what will be the sign of A2 minus A1? Since A2 will be less than A1, the sign of this will be negative. But we know rate cannot be negative. So what do? We place a negative sign out here. And this difference between the concentration over this interval of time we denote by del A, and the time interval is denoted by del T. So normally when we express the average rate of reaction, the change in concentration is denoted by this delta. Delta represents the change. This represents a change over a certain interval of time. So whenever you express the rate of a reaction, okay, as average rate, what do? We place a delta sign to denote the change. So delta represents the change over a certain interval. Okay. So this is the simple formula. Now the thing is, how are we going to understand this? How are we going to calculate this graphically? Okay, so let us see once more. So I think all of you have a fair idea about your graph. At this level, you should be having a fair idea how to plot a graph. So what am I going to do now? Okay, I'm going to plot concentration versus time graph. So what am I going to do? I'm going to plot your concentration versus time graph for your reactants. Okay, I'm going to plot concentration versus time graph. Okay. So what will happen to the concentration of reactant? What did we study? The concentration of the reactant gradually decreases with time. So the nature of graph will be like this. The nature of the graph will be like this. Okay, so this is for your reactant. Now, the initial concentration at time t1. Okay, the initial concentration at time t1, suppose this is time t1. This is time t1. This is time t1. Okay, so this is the time axis. So the concentration at time t1, the initial concentration at time t1 is equal to say A1. We have assumed it to be A1. Fine. And say a certain amount of time has passed, say t2. Okay, and what is the concentration of reactant at time t2? So we draw a perpendicular. So the concentration will be A2, and it's very evident from the graph that the final concentration is lower than the initial concentration. Okay, so at time t1, what is the concentration? At time t1, the concentration is A1, and at time t2, the concentration is A2. Fine. So what do you get out here? What do you get out here? We get a triangle. We get a triangle out here. We get a triangle out here. We get a triangle out here. And yes, again, once more, I'm expressing the rate. So what did we write earlier? Rate is equal to minus A2 minus A1 divided by T2 minus T1. This is equal to minus del A divided by del T. So what is minus A2 minus A1? A2 minus A1 represents the change in concentration over this time interval. So time interval is this. At this time interval, what is the change in concentration? The change of concentration is this. This is a change in concentration. So let me denote this by OA. Okay, so the change in concentration is equal to OA. Okay, A2 minus A1 or A1, okay, minus minus plus A1 minus A2 will be equal to this OA. So T2 minus T1. What is T2 minus T1? This, I'm talking about this change in time interval. That means I'm talking about this part, OB. So this is the change in concentration. This is the change in concentration over this interval of time. So delta T is equal to what? OB. Delta T is equal to OB. Fine. So what is OB in, so if I assume this to be theta, what is OA out here? Perpendicular. And what is OB? It is the base. And from trigonometry, what do you know? Perpendicular by base is equal to tan theta. So therefore, tan theta is equal to OA by OB. Okay, so actually rate is equal to OA by OB. Here, rate is equal to OA by OB. And what is OA? Perpendicular by base. So rate is equal to what? Tan theta. So therefore, rate of a reaction is equal to tan theta. So this is how you can calculate the average rate of a reaction. So see, first rate of a reaction in terms of reactant is this. So this represents the change in concentration OA. Fine. What is the change in time? Delta T, T2 minus T1. This is what? OB. So OA by OB is perpendicular by base, which is equal to tan theta. So therefore, the average rate of a reaction can be calculated graphically in this method. So if we find out the tan theta means actually it is equal to the slope. So if we find out the slope, we can get the rate of a reaction. We can get the rate of a reaction. Fine. So here I have expressed graphically the rate of a reaction in terms of concentration of reactant. Okay, so your assignment will be, so you try out yourself, can we express the average rate of a reaction graphically in terms of concentration of product? Okay, is it possible? Yes, it is possible. Okay, so just I'm going to give you some hints and you do it yourselves. So again here, I will be plotting concentration versus time graph. So what will be the nature of the graph? For your product, it increases with time. So it will be this. Okay. So the concentration of the product gradually increases with time. So at time t1, say suppose at time t1, the concentration is say B1 product. At time t2, okay, at time t1, the concentration is B1. At time t2, the final concentration is B2. Okay, so what is the change in concentration? B2 minus B1. The change in concentration will be this, again OA. What will the change in time? The change in time will be this, OB. Fine. So here again you find out this theta, tan theta. Okay, so this should give us the rate of a reaction in terms of product. So please try it on your own. Okay, please try it on your own. Fine. So average rate of a reaction, what is the concept? The average rate of a reaction means when we calculate the rate of a reaction over a certain interval of time, okay, then that rate of a reaction is known as the average rate of a reaction. And graphically, how do we calculate the average rate? In this way. Fine. Now let us quickly move towards your next topic, instantaneous rate of a reaction. Okay, let us quickly move towards the another topic, instantaneous rate of a reaction. Instantaneous rate. So what is an instantaneous rate? So the rate of a reaction measured, so rate of a reaction measured for an infinite simile small interval of time. The rate of a reaction measured for a very infinite small time interval is known as a instantaneous rate. Okay, it's known as an instantaneous rate. Say a reaction is going on. Say if someone asks to calculate the rate of a reaction between 25th to 30th second, that will be an average rate. But if someone tells you calculate the rate of a reaction, say at 24th second, at that particular time interval. So we know time cannot be constant, it changes. Okay, so if someone tells you calculate the rate of a reaction at 24th second, so that would be a instantaneous rate. The time interval is very small. Okay, so once more again I am going to consider the same hypothetical reaction A, B. Okay, so now what will be the rate of a reaction? So the rate of a reaction, what kind of rate? Instantaneous rate of a reaction will be equal to minus dA by dt. In terms of product, it will be plus dB by dt. Fine. So the difference out here, so this is the instantaneous rate. This is the instantaneous rate. So again, I will write down the average rate. Average rate is minus del A by del T, which is equal to plus del B by del T. The only difference out here is how we express the change. Average rate, we denote the change by this symbol delta. And whenever the change is very small, the change is represented by this. So dA represents a very infinite change in concentration of A over a very infinite change in time dt. Over a very small interval of time dt, what is the change in concentration of A? dA. And over a very infinite small time interval dt, what is the change in concentration of B? dV. Everything else will be the same. Eh? So earlier we had said this is the rate of disappearance of A. So here also this will represent the rate of disappearance of A. So we had said this is the rate of appearance of B. So here also this is the rate of appearance of B. Everything else is the same, just the symbol. So whenever you see this symbol, that means we are talking about instantaneous rate. And whenever you see this symbol, that means you are talking about your average rate of a reaction. Okay, so that's the difference. Now, when will the average rate become equal to the instantaneous rate? So again, what is the difference? The only difference is that here delta t is appreciable. Here the change in time interval is appreciable. But here the change in time interval is very small. So when will these two things be equal? So this question have come in the past. Okay, so your average rate can become equal to the instantaneous rate. This can be equal to the instantaneous rate. Okay, so the only difference is that here delta t is appreciable, here dt is very small. This is the only difference. So when delta t approaches dt, when delta t approaches dt, okay, then the average rate becomes equal to the instantaneous rate. And mathematically, how are you going to write down this? So we write down limit del t tends to 0. So when the change in time interval, when the change in time interval is very small, how small? It is tending towards 0. When the time interval is very small, tending towards 0, then the average rate can become equal to the instantaneous rate. So mathematically, average rate is equal to the instantaneous rate when limit delta t tends to 0. Okay. So how are you going to calculate the instantaneous rate of a reaction graphically? What is the graphical process? What is the graphical method? Okay. So once more. Okay. Again, let me consider the same reaction A to B. So again, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to draw a graph. I'm going to plot concentration versus time graph out here. For reactant, what will be the nature of graph? This. For product, it will be this. Okay, so let me draw the graph for a reactant like this. This for a reactant A. Fine. So listen carefully, it will take a minute. Suppose you are asked to find out the rate of a reaction at this particular time. You are supposed to find out the rate of a reaction at this particular time. Now what you do, you draw a perpendicular out here. This. So you need to find out the rate of a reaction at this particular point. Okay, so how are you going to do? You draw a tangent passing through this line. You draw a tangent passing through this point. What you do is you draw a tangent passing through that point. Let the point be denoted by P. So if you are asked to find out the rate of a reaction at this time, again, you draw a tangent corresponding to that particular point. Right? So here I was asked to calculate the rate of a reaction at this time. So I drew a perpendicular, I got a point out here. So I draw a tangent passing through this point. Now what you do again, simply you construct a triangle. So here I'll be getting theta. Okay, so this is OA, this is OB. Again, what is this? Concentration, change in concentration. OA is the change in concentration. What is OB? OB is the change in time. So how do you express the rate of a reaction? Again, rate is equal to tan theta. What is tan theta? Perpendicular OA by OB. OA by OB. So just by measuring the change in concentration and the time taken for the change, you can measure the instantaneous rate at this particular time. Now, yes, so there is a simple confusion among the students. So you might ask me, sir, how do we draw a triangle then? How do we draw a triangle? Now see, I'll just clear this concept. It does not matter. What matters is this theta. Here I have drawn OA, this, OB, this. Now if I draw a small triangle, instead, if I draw a small triangle, so I'm drawing a small triangle, I'm drawing a small triangle, but this, again, it is passing to the same point P. I am drawing a small triangle. You tell me, will this theta change? Will the value of theta change? No, the slope will be same. Since it is passing through a common point, this slope is not going to change. Whether you construct a big triangle or a small triangle, the value of tan theta will remain the same. So it will not affect the rate of a reaction. Fine, so you can draw any triangle. You can draw a big triangle. So again, you can measure this value graphically. You can measure this value graphically. Or whatever may be the values of this and this, the value of tan theta will remain the same. So what you do is, again, you yourselves try. How do you measure the instantaneous rate in terms of product? The nature of graph will be different. So students, so today we have learned about here how do we express the rate in terms of rate of appearance, rate of disappearance, what is an average rate, what is an instantaneous rate, what is the difference between them, what is the relation between them, and graphically how do we determine the average rate and the instantaneous rate. Fine. So in the next class, we'll move towards the next topic. Okay. And for more classes, please subscribe to the channel so that you can get the notifications, new notifications. Fine. Till then, stay safe.